Hey everybody, Jason Yoss from GoldenWest Management. I'm here on Market Movers, and our question this week is, are there any benefits to buying or selling a home in the month of November or December? Can't wait to get our panel of experts out here and hear what they have to say. Welcome back to Market Movers. I'm with Asaf from Coldwell Banker West. Asaf, thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And this week's expert panel question is, are there benefits to buying or selling during November and December timeframe? So I want to get your opinion, Asaf.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for the opportunity. I actually really like this conversation and topic because the end of the year is one of the best time to buy real estate. And I've been pitching this for maybe 20 years, since 2003. And there are two main reasons for why you should invest and purchase towards the end of the year. The one reason, it's pretty simple. Everybody else and their brother are pretty much busy doing shopping,
holidays, Christmas,
families,
right?
Traveling. A lot of these people, a lot of these buyers, just shifting like their focus from like their search, their intensity, to kind of like relax mode, family mode, which is great. But it also open up the market and the opportunity for active buyers to kind of go shop and don't deal with multiple offers, deal with a lot of less stress of buyers. And the bottom line is be able to negotiate directly with the seller without any interference. So in our industry, this is huge, especially if you compare it to 2 years ago when we dealt with so much multiple offers and cash buyers, and buyers had like really no tools and no force, nothing really to deal with, regarding this situation.
And that brings me to the point talking about the buyers. Asaf, are you having them do anything different? Maybe something that you would have them do now that you wouldn't have had them do in June or July?
Yeah, so first and foremost, I think for every buyer, the first steps, they have to like work their budget, know their numbers. In this market, especially because of the rates are so high, they need to really dial into their monthly payment and see what sits comfortable in their payment, in their budget, and kind of move forward towards that. Now, once they know their budget, then they need to hire a really nice, good professional agent that will kind of guide them through the process, show them and search for really good bargains, deals that fits in their search parameters and their budget. So going back towards like the November, December, you're going out there, you're dealing with a lot less of a volume of buyers, and that's increased like your negotiation skills. So that's one aspect. The other one, and it's super important to understand, some sellers out there are super motivated because of tax reasons. And I had it happen to me several times when I was on the listing side, where a seller telling me, look, Asaf, if you can find me a buyer that can close before the year ends, I'm going to save a big amount of money on my taxes. So that should be a win-win for the buyer and the sellers.
I love that one.
And that's the reason why buyers that looking right now, towards the end of the year, it's the best time, because we can, have less buyers out there and find those motivated sellers that are motivated because of their taxes, and we can get some discounts, we can get some price reductions, we can get some concessions, we can get some repairs. So I really think that overall the market is shifting, and there is a lot more opportunities for the buyers. Even when the rates are high, there are ways to kind of go around it and get them into where they want to, because real estate in San Diego long term, it's a perfect and very safe investment.
This is some fabulous feedback for our viewers. It's not just we talked about the buyers getting an advantage, but did you hear him talk about tax advantages and why a seller might be extra motivated that they have their home listed now to get it sold before the end of the year? I really appreciate all your feedback, Asaf. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for joining Market Movers, and tune in next week.
You got it. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey everyone, Jason Yoss back with Market Movers. This week, I'm with Brandon Brown of Baybrook Realty. He's the owner and broker. Brandon, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And I want to bring you, the question of the week is, are there benefits to buying or selling a property during the November and December months?
Gotcha. No, that's a great question. I would say historically, and right now we're anything but historic last 2 years. So I'm going to go a little bit historic and say that generally the November, December season favors buyers. And the reason I can say that, and I'll go into today's date too, is right now, if you have sellers, they're have-to sellers. They want to sell. Most people want to not focus on selling if they don't want to. So they're going to be making their turkey and going to Black Friday. And
yep, it's a holiday season.
Yeah, they want to prepare for Christmas. So if they're putting up with people tramping through their house and doing open houses, they need to sell.
Okay.
So buyers have an opportunity right now because now you have a little bit more supply, as we've seen, and the demand is low.
Right.
So you're probably going to get a house. Now, on the flip side, sellers, if buyers are going to be going out there, they're want-to buyers.
Right.
They're not going to be window shopping.
Right.
And so if they're not window shopping and you can price your house accordingly, and I'm saying right now is probably good to kind of be the lowest of the range that you're looking in because you're a have-to seller, right?
Right.
You're going to find that buyer and you're going to hold on to them, and the transaction's going to go through.
Is there anything special or particular to this time of year that you're going to do that maybe in the other parts of the year you wouldn't do or you wouldn't ask your client to do?
It's tough because everything is relative to the community that you're in.
Got it.
So I believe everything's supply and demand.
Right.
If you're in a community, or let's say the listing I have is in a downtown condo right now in San Diego. So if there's no other listings in there, I feel like, well, the supply's pretty low. You can hold out a little bit more. I still think, yes, you got to make your house look good right now. You have to make it be an outlier of some sort. Make someone, there's a lot of nervousness. So you got to make someone go, you know what, I love this house. It may not be there tomorrow. And if it's not there tomorrow, I may not find something for the next couple months. Maybe rates are higher then, maybe rates are lower, but the bottom line is I don't have any competition now. I want to take it.
Got it. I love that focus approach, especially to this specific time of the year, the specific type of market. So, Brandon, thanks so much for coming on. Thank you so much for your feedback. And everybody, thank you for joining us on another edition of Market Watch. Everyone, welcome back to Market Movers. I'm Jason Yoss. I'm here with Holly Sanders of the Avenue Home Collective. Thank you for being here, Holly.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And so Holly's going to answer our expert question of, are there benefits for buyers and sellers listing or purchasing a home during November and December? What are your thoughts, Holly?
So I think there are a lot of benefits to listing your house during the holidays because the people that you're going to attract, the buyers that right now are going to be the very serious ones.
Right.
No one's really looking right now and window shopping. Everyone's got so many things to do around the holidays. Mm-hmm. So everyone who's coming in and wanting to see homes are very serious. They're qualified. They need to make the move. A lot of families want to do this so that the next semester the kids could start school.
Right, school.
Yeah.
So is there something different that you're doing with your clients this time of year that maybe you wouldn't be doing in May or June?
No, I do everything the same for my clients. Market the crap out of the house, you know.
Right.
It doesn't matter what the season.
Okay.
But what a positive thing too is that everyone has their house all clean and pretty for the holidays.
Right,
you might as well, you know.
That's so
take
true.
Some photos.
You know what? Just driving the neighborhoods too. It's almost that time where the lights are up, the yards are manicured, everything looks so good and smells good inside. So very good point. Very good point.
And for buyers, it also means less competition.
Right.
Less competition, so you don't have to like overbid. You don't need to like offer your firstborn child. You know, like you could just pick your house and negotiate directly with the seller, and it's both sides are serious about what they want, and it just. Both sides come out winning.
I love that. That's great feedback, especially the part about not having to offer your firstborn child to get the home of your dreams. So, Holly Sanders, thanks so much for visiting and being here today. I'm Jason with Market Movers. Tune in next week. Thank you. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Market Movers. I'm Jason Yoss, your host. I'm here with Kimberly Walton of Happy Homes Real Estate. Kimberly, thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So today, or this week's topic and major question is, are there benefits to buying or selling a home in the month of November and December? Kimberly, tell me your opinion, your expert opinion on that question.
Certainly. I love selling houses in November and December. One of the reasons is because families are getting together, and if they see a house for sale on the same street, they want to go take a look and sometimes just move just to be near their friends or their family.
Absolutely.
So it's a beautiful time to sell.
Is there anything specific that you might do this time of year that you wouldn't do, say, in June?
Yes, because it's also the middle of the school year. And sometimes when people move, they have to change school districts as well.
Right.
So I like to have that information on hand.
Okay.
When the families do come over.
Absolutely. That's great. And in terms of, this year it seems the market might be a little bit different. Has it affected this holiday season? I mean, talk to me a little bit about how maybe the market in general also is affecting this season.
Yes, it has, without question, because suddenly the houses are on the market longer than they were previously, just 4 or 5 months ago. I had one that was on the market for a couple hours and had 47 offers.
Whoa!
And now I have a house on the market and different houses, and they're gorgeous, and they're waiting. They're waiting for the next buyer. The problem is that the buyers can't buy as much as they could a year ago, even with their same money, with their same income. So it's very difficult for them to get the house that they're in love with.
Right.
And sellers have to adjust their expectations as well, because they're not going to be able to sell it for quite as much as they could a year ago.
Correct. And so what are you telling your buyers right now, not just the market and this time of year, how are you getting them to approach it?
Sure. I love working with buyers. We get to go, it's like a treasure hunt.
Right.
You get to go and find the exact house that's perfect for them. And you know it when they walk in and they go, oh, then you know you found the right house.
It talks to them, right?
Exactly, it does. And we have to still be very generous with our offers because sellers are used to seeing all these bigger numbers. So it's going to balance out, I think, eventually.
Right.
But right now, we have to come to a meeting point between both of them, the expectations of the sellers and the ability of the buyers.
Absolutely. Kimberly, that is fabulous feedback. Especially I love when you say when a buyer walks in and they feel it, they know it's the right home for them.
I know. I'm getting chills. That's the best moment.
I love it. I love it. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Market Movers. We'll see you next time. Hey everyone, welcome back to Market Movers. I'm Jason Yoss, and I'm here with Laura Lothian from Pacific Sotheby's. Laura, thank you for being here with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So this week's main question is, what is the number one or what is the best repair remodel for a property that's going to give you the best rate of return?
Okay, no hesitation, ADU.
ADU.
Yeah.
All right, so if we're going to talk ADU, give me the top 3 reasons or top 3 need to know about building an ADU.
Okay, so ADUs are best return on your investment. You can build them for less per square foot than what they sell for in the neighborhood. You want to have something very stylish. The pictures mean everything. You want people to get excited about staying in your ADU. You want it to have its own outdoor space, so for that morning coffee, that evening glass of wine, and a designated parking space. Yeah, and keep it small. Studios are great. 1-bedrooms are great. There's an ADU. My client has an ADU on Bancroft Drive in La Mesa. It is not walking distance to anything. There is no pool, no lake, no mountains, no views, no nothing. And it's under 500 square feet. She makes between $3,000 and $4,000 a month on it.
3 and 5,000 a month.
3 and 4. Yeah.
3 and 4. Now, talk to me about one of the things you said. A dedicated parking spot.
Yeah.
Why is that so important?
Well, it's because, first of all, the person that's going to stay there, and whether it's family or guest or anything like that, the comfort of knowing that your car is there, it's a secure place, but also, too, if you got you start to take up street parking, the neighbors are gonna resent you. So
there we
do
go.
A designated parking spot.
The neighbors, and you mentioned about not making it humongous as well. Is that also a thought towards the neighbors as well?
Yeah, there's Airbnb has gotten a bad reputation because of these gigantic big party houses, and you see in Mount Helix, you'll see it too. Somebody rents out their entire house to 20 people, and it's beer pong at 2 a.m. And the neighbors hate it. So I really I have ADUs myself. I have 2, and I've had 3 or 4 over the years, and I always kept it small, a studio or a 1-bedroom.
Got it. So top repair or remodel with rate of return, that's an ADU.
Yep.
And top 3 things for an ADU, one of them is don't build it too big. Got to be stylish. They got to have a little bit of outdoor space. And we got to have dedicated parking.
Perfect.
I love it, Laura. Thanks so much for being with us. I'm Jason with Market Movers. We'll see you next time. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Market Movers. I'm Jason Yoss, your host. I'm here with Pam Wenny of Wenny Mortgage and Realty. Pam, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And this week, we're asking our expert panel, what are buyers looking for in this kind of downturn market? So, Pam, give me your thoughts on this one.
So what I'm saying is they want the home fixed. They want it done. They don't want to have to come in and spend all this money on these high mortgage rates and then have to do more work. They're running out of cash. So it's tricky when you have an older home that needs to be a little touched up and a little remodeled and a little refreshed. So we've got some solutions for that. We've got a concierge program that we're working on that we can do the fix and flip for you, and you can profit off of it. You don't have to worry about the cost of the fixes. We make arrangements for all of that.
You do all this?
We do all this.
So your firm has a solution for
Yes.
this kind of situation when a buyer finds a home that isn't there.
Right.
You have this.
So we have a vendor that works with us to fund your renovation, so you can sell your home like that model home down the street that fixer flipper has already done, and you're competing for that same buyer who doesn't want to have to do anything after they close escrow.
Right.
These buyers these days don't want to do anything after they
They
close
want
it.
turnkey. They want to be able to move in.
They want it done.
And so your firm, when clients that want to list their home work with you,
Yes.
you have the ability to help them get that home in that perfect turnkey.
We can make it look like a model home, and it takes a little bit more time than just throwing it on as is, and you will work with that and we'll weigh all the options. Selling it as is, we can do that, or we can do those extra touches that are going to make it sell for its top dollar.
I love that. And what's your favorite part, or what's the best part about this program when it comes to making a home perfect?
We run the gamut in options. We can look at the numbers both ways. What do I have to sell it at now to get it to move as is? Or what is its potential in this market? What can I max it out at? And can we reach that? And is it worth the time and the effort to do that?
I love that. Yeah. Well, you heard it here first. What a great way to tackle that problem of making sure you can get a buyer in this downturn market, get them exactly what they want.
Right.
Pam, thanks so much for giving us that expert opinion. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us on Market Movers. And again, I'm Jason Yoss. Tune in next week. Hey everybody, welcome back to Market Movers. I'm Jason Yoss. I'm here with Rebecca Monge from Professional Realty Services, fellow triplet parent like myself.
That's right.
Rebecca, thanks for being here.
As all the good people are. My triplets are 14. How old are yours?
My triplets are 6, but they're on their way.
Awesome.
And Rebecca is going to answer our expert panel question of, are there benefits for buyers and sellers putting their home or buying a home during the months of November and December? Rebecca, tell me what your thoughts are.
I think there's certain benefits to buying or selling at any time of the year, and they're different. And there's also benefits to buying and selling specifically in this November and December.
Right.
For one reason, for buyers especially, if they bought 6 months ago, they had sellers that were getting 20 offers and did not have to do repairs, and they had to have a lot of money and needed to waive appraisals. And, it was very, very difficult. There's a benefit to the interest rate is a little bit higher, even though today the interest rate went down a half a point because here it comes. We're going back down.
Right.
So I tell those buyers, some buyers think, oh, I'll wait. No, that is a mistake.
Right.
And I'll tell you why. Because it's going to go right back to what it was before. You will be competing with 100 other buyers. They'll be getting 20 offers. They won't have to do anything. You know what I mean? You buy now, and it is already starting to go down. You're going to get a home at an excellent price.
Right.
And you are going to have time to do inspections, and you're going to be asked for reasonable things.
Right.
And that you will get them. And then when it does go down, you will refi and get that interest rate.
Now, let me ask you a question. Is there something different about this time of year versus any other time of year when you're working with your buyer or working with a seller? Like, is there one thing that stands out to you that, hey, during the holiday time, we do differently?
Yes, I think so. And I am working with sellers and buyers at this exact moment. With the sellers, I tell them there are less people out in the market right now because of the holidays, because of Thanksgiving, because of Hanukkah, because of Christmas, because of all of this. You do have less people out there, but the buyers that are out there are dead serious.
Right.
They're not wasting their time, and they're not going to waste the seller's time. If they're out there looking now, they need or want to buy.
Right.
And it's the same thing with the sellers who open up their home at this time. These are very serious sellers. They're not wasting anybody's time. Also, homes look beautiful at this time of the year. People have Thanksgiving or holiday decorations up.
Such a good point.
Yeah, you get a really good feeling when you walk into a house and it smells good and it's decorated. So, I mean, there are a lot of benefits, to buying and selling right now. I think, you're dealing with serious people that are in the
Absolutely.
market, not wasting time.
I think you brought up some great points. The homes look amazing, and if a seller is going to open up their home to let people come through it during this time of year, they're absolutely serious. So thank you so much for the feedback. You heard it here first from Rebecca. Thank you for joining us on Market Movers. Remember, tune in next time. Hey everyone, welcome back to Market Movers. I'm Jason Yosh, your host. I'm here with Tiffany Torgan of Prestige Properties. Tiffany, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And so we're going to hit this week's expert panel question of, are there benefits for buyers and sellers to buy or list a property during November and December? Tiffany, what are your thoughts?
Well, this is actually one of my favorite times as far as buying and selling goes, because I actually have bought both of my past properties in November myself. And what I found is that the people are super serious. If you've got sellers that are putting their house on the market, they're wanting to sell. There's a reason why they have it on the market during the holidays.
Right.
And that's what I always tell the buyers too. So the buyers a lot of times will get a little bit better opportunity because there's not as many buyers looking between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And then you've got buyers out there that have just been like, oh, everything was so busy and I got bid out and all this other things that have been happening. And so now I'm finding, okay, we've got a nice little set of inventory.
Right.
We've got serious sellers and we've got buyers that actually will have a chance to not only get the property, but also probably get a better value on it, get a better price.
Is there something specific that you're telling your clients to do right now that maybe you wouldn't be telling them to do in, if it was May or June?
Well, that's a tricky question because for the sellers, this has been a very frustrating time for some sellers anyway.
Right.
And so that's mainly that's a whole different side of it.
Right.
But pretty much when I am telling buyers, which again, they're also shying off, but I'm trying to explain to them that, the rates might be going up as well. So as far as not being afraid, you can always refinance if later you decide that you need to do that. Right. But the rates still are not that bad.
No, not at all. Historically, rates are amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and so there are people though that are buying. So it's not as fast and it's not as happening as quickly, but they are out there.
And tell me, have you noticed this? Homes look amazing. Like the way people have their home decorated for the holidays, everything's cleaned up. Yeah. I noticed just driving around the neighborhood, I'm like, wow, that home's already decorated. It looks beautiful. So do you see that people who are listing their home are not just serious, but they're going above and beyond with their getting their home ready?
Oh, yeah. And what's nice is if you use the Christmas decorations and all that, it does. It shows really, really pretty.
I love it.
Yeah, and Tiffany, I do see a lot of fall decor as well.
You know what? There's nothing better than having an expert opinion, someone who's been in the market and understands how it works to give us feedback. Tiffany, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm Jason with Market Movers. Don't forget, tune in next week. Welcome back to Market Movers. I'm Jason Yosh, your host. I'm here with Amy Jensen and Joe Capriotti. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Our expert question of the week is, other than price, what are we doing to bring affordability to our market?
That's a great question. So there's 4 areas that you really want to look at. You want to look at price, location, condition, and terms. Okay. So price, really, that's negotiable between buyer and seller.
Right.
Location is something that is fixed. You can't put a home in a cul-de-sac. Correct. You can't make a home have a view. You can't move to the other side of the street so there's no road noise.
Right.
So location you're stuck with. Condition of the property is something you're not stuck with. Right. And in today's market, condition is very important. A year ago or even in January, condition didn't matter. Right now, it really matters. So new flooring, new paint, etc., things like that, new light fixtures, that really makes a difference in today's market. Buyers are looking at condition of properties right now. With interest rates going up, you really can't change that. So you have to really make your home stand out.
Right.
Fortunately, Coldwell Banker has a program called the Revitalize program, where if the client cannot lay out the money for the improvements on the home, like paint and flooring, Coldwell Banker's Revitalize program pays for those out of their pocket, and then when the home closes, they get reimbursed through the proceeds at 0 interest.
Really?
So, yeah, so we've really bridged that gap. And so it's very important to really make your house shine from your competition.
Got it.
And then the last thing is terms. What can we do with the terms in a contract to make the home more affordable? Right. So Joe Capriati, who is the branch manager at Coldwell Banker's Encinitas office, is here to talk about that.
Thank you, Amy. You know, Jason, one of the things that's happened, and Amy brought it up, is interest rates have gone up from 3% to 7% in about a 6-month period. Right. And sellers think one way and buyers think another.
They do.
Sellers think about sales price, as they should, and buyers think about monthly payments.
Right.
Right.
So I'd like to give you an example, just something to think about. If we took a $2 million property with a 20% down payment at 3%, and we took that same property of $2 million with a $400,000 down payment at 7%,
wow,
you would literally have to adjust the price from $2 million down to $1.2 million to have the same monthly payment, $800,000 adjustment.
Wow.
So we take what we do very, very seriously.
Right.
Obviously, we're trying to bridge gaps. There are challenges in the market, and what we do is we create market solutions.
Right.
So what we've done is we've found ways to create terms that get sellers the price they want and get buyers the payments that they need.
It's a great way of thinking.
Yeah, and that's happening right now, and it's not really creative financing. It's what's been done for years. There are loans out there that are adjustable rate loans, but they are fixed for a 10-year period.
Right.
So you have the same interest rate for a 10-year period. And those are starting at about that 6.5% range. So if you combine that 6.5 with a buy down on the interest rate,
right,
you can get interest rates down to as low as 5%.
Right, making it more affordable, correct?
Much more affordable and saving $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 per month.
Right.
So instead of going back to a seller and saying, oh my gosh, you've got to drop your price by $800,000, which we would never do,
right,
it's you can get your price as long as we can create the affordability for the buyer. So that's how we really create solutions in the marketplace.
I love it.
So question, Joe.
Yes.
So are you saying that the seller offers to buy down the rate? So instead of having to lower their home $800,000, if they buy down the rate by 2 or 3 points, it would cost $30,000, and then the buyer then has an affordability in their mortgage payment.
Right.
So the seller pays the point.
So I'm so glad that you brought that up, Amy. You know, we sell 10s, 20, 30, 40 properties a month in the office. And the trend that we're seeing right now is doing exactly what you're talking about. And that is having the offer come in with a request that the buyer credits, the seller credits the buyer's lender for discount points. And typically 1 point is 1% of the loan amount. So if you had that $1 million loan, right, 1% would be $10,000. So essentially 3 points would buy down an interest rate about 1%, right? So if you think about it, in the seller's mind, it's my choice is to help the buyer with affordability. I either lower my price by $800,000 or I participate in a buy down, and it's a cost of about $30,000.
Brilliant.
Right?
And these are things that we used to do before the market became 50 offers on the first day, a little bit unreasonable. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And you know, as markets change, this is just a market cycle. We've been through this. This is the 4th cycle I've been through, right? So it's nothing new, nothing to be alarmed about. It just takes time for people to accept market conditions and accept the most plausible solutions.
Thank you, guys. That was such great information. Really appreciate it. Everybody, thank you for joining us on Market Movers. I'm your host, Jason Yoss. Till next time. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Market Movers. I'm your host, Jason Yoss. I'm here with Jerry Burchard. Jerry, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
And today we're talking about specifics about when you have a client who's interested in purchasing outside the United States, specifically Mexico, what resources are you using? What agents are you using to help with those referrals? Jerry, what do you think?
Well, I'm a real estate agent in Cabo San Lucas with the Mexican MLS down there. I was a real estate developer for 9 years at the Palmilla Resort in Cabo San Lucas. I built 34 villas from the ground up. I built the Palmilla Tennis Club, which got an architectural award by the American Sports Builders Association for top 10 new tennis club in
Beautiful.
America.
It's beautiful, by the way.
And I'm in Cabo all the time. I work there. I'm also an agent, obviously, in San Diego. So I want to present myself as a resource to the 12,000 agents that are in San Diego, for instance. If you have a client who's got a question about buying in Mexico, and I've heard all the myths.
The myths, right? Talk about some of those myths real quick.
So, for instance, there's never been a 99-year lease. It's never existed. The 99-year lease thing is Hong Kong and England. It has nothing to do with Mexico.
That's the number one myth, too. Yeah. Like, it's all, you can never really buy. It's
can you actually own the property?
Right.
Will the government steal the property from
right.
me? Is it a 99-year lease? Is it safe? I've heard this. I built from the ground up.
Right.
I built the sewer, the street, the buildings, the condominium regime from the ground up, sold it. You can get title insurance, Stewart Title International, if you want it.
Right.
You actually own it. Property taxes are 1/10 of what they are in California.
Nothing, right?
So on a $500,000 house, condo down there, your property taxes are going to be about $450 a year. Here, they'd be $6,000.
Right.
You actually own it. There's also no estate tax in Mexico.
Right.
Cabo is exploding. There are more private jets at the airport than there are in Aspen, Vail combined.
Right.
And it's an hour and 45-minute flight out of Tijuana.
And a typical transaction, if an agent here had a client who wanted to buy there, how would they go about it? Do they just give you a call and you work the transaction, or they get a referral? How does it work?
So they give me a call like as if I was referring somebody to somebody in Scottsdale.
Right.
I'm just a person who works in Cabo. We sign a referral agreement. It's valid. You own it. I'm with Harcourt's Real Estate in in Cabo San Lucas. I'm with Urban Pacific in San Diego. So I recognize your client. They're looking to buy something in Cabo. I can help them in Rosarito. I have resources in Puerto Vallarta and other places.
Love it.
But at least I can answer the question that they may have about, is it a 99-year lease? Is it safe? How does it work?
Right. Because they come back from the vacation, they love it, but they're not sure, okay, what are the next steps if they wanted to buy a condo, and you're the resource to be able to answer that question.
Every week, and I'm 64, every week I get something from the American Association of Retired People saying, retire in Mexico, retire in Mexico. Right. Your Social Security will go farther in Mexico. There are almost 2 million Americans living in Mexico right now. So if you don't know how to do this, I implore you, give me a call and I'll just help you get educated so you are a resource. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be involved in the transaction, but of course I'm going to upload every step of the way. But at least give your clients an answer versus saying, "Oh, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know."
Right. Or go and search the internet to just
or referring to some guy that you meet down there in Cabo who used to sell timeshares and now is wearing a Hawaiian shirt, who maybe feels like a little bit of a used car salesman. I'm a real agent. I'm a developer. I built things. I sold things. I do things in San Diego. Call me and I'll help you.
Thanks, Jerry. That's wonderful information for our agents out there. Everybody, thanks for joining us on Market Movers, and be sure to tune in next week. Everybody, welcome back to Market Movers. I'm your host, Jason Yoss. I'm here with Karen Kelly of Compass. Karen, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And we're talking about today's expert panel question of the week. What are the benefits for buyers and sellers buying or selling a home during November and December? Karen, what are your thoughts on this question?
I think the benefit for buyers is that traditionally and historically there's less buyers circulating.
Okay.
That's at least the common, sentiment. I think so ideally, if you're a buyer, maybe you're going to have a little less competition.
Right. So you're serious.
But the sellers, there are quite a few benefits right now, especially in this market, because we have very low inventory. Despite the market slowing, the inventory is still extremely low. And if you look at the stats weekly, most of the, there's as many listings selling as there are coming on the market.
I love it.
So I think the sellers have that advantage, and then the buyers who are circulating at a busy holiday time like this are serious about buying.
Right.
And I've been in the business a long time, and I've had, I guess, good luck selling properties at times that other people discount as not a good time to sell.
I love it. Let me ask you this question about it. Okay. This time of year, versus say May or June? Is there any one specific thing that you're telling your clients to do differently or adding them to do versus maybe a May or June?
I think you do the same thing at all times of year overall. I mean, some people will decorate for the holidays. Some people are really good at that.
Right.
And they can make a place look fantastic. Sometimes it can also be a little much. So, I think you're cautiously...
The Griswold's Christmas.
Yeah,
yes,
cautiously encouraging that. But I think the main thing is, I put a big property under contract once the week between Christmas and New Year's, and another one on New Year's Day that closed in 10 days. So there are people looking, and a lot of times they're serious and have a need and some urgency, which we're certainly happy to find in this market.
Absolutely. So what I'm hearing is there's still lots of benefits to listing or buying during this time, and especially a sense of urgency from both clients on both sides.
Absolutely.
I love it, Karen. Thank you so much for joining us on Market Movers. Remember, tune in, and we'll see you next time. Everybody, Jason Yoss here at Market Movers. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week.